God can literally give you anything you want. Like, He can give you a mansion, He can give you a 2-bed, He can give you a duplex. You have to know and be sure. Be like that person that already has it. And once your life is like the person that already has it, what is remaining is literally for it to come in. And once it comes in, it just aligns perfectly because you're already acting as if you're already this girl that has that dream house or that dream car or that dream person. Oh my god, babe, I just saw a house for 400k, a 1-bedroom, and I was like, what? See what I'm telling you? Hey loves, you're welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be telling you all how I manifested my dream home with no money in savings, none of that, no help, just happened. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, be sure to watch to the end. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you all for the likes, the comments, and the subscriptions. And yeah, let's get into this video. To be honest, I'm a spirituality girl. Like, I practice new rituals, I meditate, I do all of that. But then recently I've also been going back to like God. I wanted to say Christianity, but not per se Christianity, more like God, like building a relationship with God. So all these played factors into how I manifested my dream home. And this is going to also be like 2 stories, because let me tell you, last year I also manifested my dream home, and by dream home I manifested the type of home I wanted, in the amount I wanted, the exact budget. I said, okay, give me a house of this amount. I got it, and this is the second time I did it. And the first time I did it, I promised God that, God, please, once you give me this house, I'll do a story time, and I'll tell my subscribers, people that come across the video, people on the internet, how I did this with you. And I got my house the first time, but I wasn't really like secure, so I didn't end up filming the video. But I said, God, please do it again second time, and I promise you this time I will do it. So here I am, the second time doing the video. I'm going to be running through the first time and second time. They were a bit different. A little background story: I've been living on my own for 3 years with my wife, and we don't have like it's like a 9 to 5 job that we go to, so we make money from different sources, but mostly content. Like, we've moved around different ways of making money from content. So if you're a content creator, you might understand, like, the check be varying. So sometimes I thank God for where we are now at, but the first time I literally had no money. Even this time I had no money, let me be honest. The first thing that I did with both houses was, I knew the particular type of house I wanted. Like, you need to be specific. God can literally give you anything you want. Like, He can give you a mansion, He can give you a 2-bed, He can give you a duplex. You have to know and be sure, because once you are sure of what you want, then He's going to give you. So the first thing was, I had to get clear on what I wanted, the house I wanted. With this house, I wanted a 2-bedroom, and I actually wanted a duplex, like up and down, but I wasn't sure, and that's another thing. So you need to be sure that, okay, this is what I want. Then the next step is to write it down. So I wrote it down. I do like every new one. If you guys want more about the spirituality stuff, please let me know. And I also have videos on my channel about spirituality. I'll link it. So I do new moon rituals. Like, every new moon I write down my goals. I have every month I also write down my goals. So every time I was writing down my goals, I made sure to put this particular goal. Like, it took me probably like 6 months of writing these goals down. I wrote it down. I practiced all the rituals. Like, I did visualization practices. That's just imagining what I'll feel like once I have the house. So I wrote down specifically the amounts. I wrote, like, I want a 2-bedroom apartment. Some places I wrote I want, but what you're meant to write is, I have a 2-bedroom apartment by this time and at this price. So at 500k naira or price rent is. So I wrote it down and I kept on putting it. Like, I didn't get it immediately. I even thought I'll get it like in December. I thought I'll get it in December. I thought I'll get it in January. I thought I'll get it in February. It didn't happen too much. But the one thing I didn't stop doing was writing it down. I kept on writing it down, and I made sure I wrote down the same thing, because with the last time I kept on changing my mind. Like, oh, when I didn't see what I wanted, I'll be like, should I just go for a self-con? Should I just go for a one bed or something like that? So with my last house, I wrote down I wanted a one bed at 400k, and that was what I got exactly. So that was the first part of it. I'm still going to tell you all a story, like proper stories of how I did it too at the end of the video, but I just want to tell you the major key points. After writing down, next thing is to act as if you already have it. So this is the most important part. Like for me, I am an influencer or an aspiring influencer. I'm not an aspiring, I'm an influencer. So I just like figure out what an influencer that has the type of house I want, what would they do, what would their day-to-day be like, and I start to act like it. So for me, like what that looked like was like I was making sure I was waking up every morning and filming and like getting cute, showing up on my Instagram, posting on my Instagram stories, making videos, filming videos, making sure I film videos every week, posting on my Instagram. Like I had to go on like living a life like I already had that house. Even though I was in a house like I was disgusted by, I didn't feel good, I still had to show up every day, happy, film, cook like an influencer, like dream life, like somebody that already has the house. And then what this does is like when you're doing that, it's sort of like you forget the goal. You don't forget the goal, but you have something that you're doing that keeps your mind busy, because you don't want to be too focused on that goal. You don't want to make it as if that goal is before your life. That was one thing I had to learn, especially with the first time I manifested the house. I was like so dependent on the goal, on the house. Like I was like, oh, I'll be myself when the house comes. But then I noticed that the house was not coming. It didn't seem like any money was coming for the house. So I had to like literally let go of the house and say, I had to, once how I got it was I literally had to say, okay, I don't even care. This doesn't even seem like it's going to work. I want to be happy as at where I am. I want to be like, I just want to be okay. Like I was just like, God, even if you don't make me move, give me an okay life in this place that I am. Like give me money, make me happy where I am. I don't care about the house. And what this shows is like you value yourself way more than the house. Like with manifestation, you need to think you're the shit, because from you is where that house comes from. The house doesn't come, the house doesn't bet you, you bet the house. So you need to know that you are the first person before whatever thing that you want. So I basically acting as if is going to help you feel like you're already there. You're going to be like so focused on keeping up with your routines, keeping up with all of that, you forget that you're even going for this particular goals, and your life starts to like be like that person that already has it. And once your life is like the person that already has it, what is remaining is literally for it to come in. And once it comes in, it just aligns perfectly, because you're already acting as if you're already this girl that has that dream house or that dream car or that dream person you want. So it's nothing new for you. Everything just works simultaneously. So that was it. I needed to act as if I already had it, to keep up for the 3 months that I would have been thinking of like, oh my God, is this goal going to come? Is this going to come? So rather than thinking of that goal that you wrote down, put work into it. Write down a list of things you want to do daily that person that has it will do or does. If you don't know what that person you aspire to be does, you can watch them. Like I have so many influencers I watch and I study how they behave. Like I'm not saying copy somebody, everybody's own is going to be different, but if you have no idea of like what am I meant to be doing? Because let me tell you, what you say, okay, like, oh, I said an influencer is meant to be waking up every day, eating breakfast, filming videos. But whatever I say is the key or is the routine, is literally going to be the routine. So if I say my dream influencer sleeps all day, wakes up around 10, and money still comes into account. As far as I have agreed that that is it, that is going to be it. So just create your routine, and if you're having difficulty creating that routine or those things, you need to watch someone else. Aside from that, I will also say, like, there might be a phase where it seems like everything is not going to work out. So apart from that phase where it seems like everything is not going to work out, one thing that happens is when you ask for new, the old has to go. So God is going to literally rip the the old you, your old house, your old friends, your old people that you used to gist with. He's going to rip them off you, and it's going to feel like, oh my God, my life is falling apart. Your old sources of income, it's going to feel like, oh my God, my life is falling apart. Meanwhile, God is trying to remove all the debris, all the debts, and create a new, complete new building. So there might be a period that it feels like all the work I'm putting in is not working, and this time might not be for everyone, but for me it happened the 2 times. Like, I felt like, oh my God, I've worked for 3 months, this is not working, and what am I going to do? So what I ended up doing was chilling, because the universe, like, when you're too attached to goals, the universe doesn't like it. So you need to chill. Like, and I've noticed, even apart from this house, how I get anything I want is literally by saying I want it, but I don't care for it. Like, once you show, like, I don't really care for it, like, once I stop caring about, oh, my Instagram videos going viral, or my YouTube videos doing well, they always do well. So at some point you might need to just chill on that goal and just be like, okay, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. Either ways, you've put in months of work into getting this goal, and it's still going to come regardless. The universe still knows, oh, you put out this thing and you want it. It might not seem like, oh, immediately the next day is coming, or in the first month it comes, or when you set it, it comes. But God knows the perfect time. Because the funny thing is, like, with the houses I've manifested, you literally, because I love new houses, so I'm always praying for new houses. God might literally be building the house for you, and they just need to install a door or paint the house, and it might take a little while. And if you're not patient, you literally want to miss out on the perfect new house. So God is literally crafting it and making it perfect for you, and it will come in divine timing. But you just need to chill either ways. But even when you're still chilling, still try and believe. Like, a little bit of faith, if faith as tiny as a mustard seed goes a long way. And that's what I just used to push me. Like, even if I'm feeling down, I'm feeling discouraged, like, just tiny bit of faith is going to get me that shit. So those were the major things, and I just said this one so that you can apply it to any goal you have. The first thing, write down the goal, be specific as fuck. The specific 2 bedroom with clean bathrooms. Like, I literally was going through my journals today, and I saw where I scripted down. It's a method of manifesting where you write down exactly how you want your life to go that day, how we went. I scripted down exactly how I wanted this house, like, in 2022, and I'm looking at this house, and it's exactly what I wrote down there, everything, and it was just like so crazy to me. Write down your goal, you act as if, and if the need be, you chill and leave it to the universe, because your mental health, yourself, comes first before that goal. So you need to know that you don't need to be out there rushing after the goal. It's time for the story times about the house. But I hope I'm doing this video right, because so with the first house, and this first house, I wanted it in 2022, but I got it in 2023. So what had happened, I had been trying to save like since January. I was saving, sorry, this was 2023. I had been trying to save since December, it didn't work. January, I tried to save, but we kept on like spending the money because on other things, like things will literally come up where we'll need to spend money. So the money I thought I could have used for the house didn't end up happening. It was so crazy, like in that same point, we lost our YouTube, our couple's YouTube. That was like our major source of money. And I was like, okay, I have no clue how I'm going to get it. But like crazy enough, God now made the money that we made on YouTube, it came back to us. So I had sort of like some funds, but it wasn't enough still. This was like February, the money came, or January ending, the money came. But I was like, damn. Okay, so we went house hunting after we got the money. We still didn't find the right house. All the houses we found were trash. Meanwhile, I'm doing all these things. I've written down my goal. My goal for the house was a 1 bed and 400k exact to be precise. And I kept on telling my babe that, oh, we'll see that type of house. There are this type of houses, shows like where we stay on the island, there's no house for that price. There's no house for that price. There's no house for 400. All the agents and people we talk to, they'll be like, there's no house for that price. But I didn't let it deter me. I was like talking to God. And once I noticed that nobody was agreeing, I stopped telling people. I kept on talking to God, like, this is the house I want in this amount. We went house hunting, that was not successful, and we started using our money again for day-to-day expenses, and our money started reducing. And then in February or something, like my dad that I didn't used to talk to for a long time reached out to me, and he was like, he wanted to see me. He saw me and he gave me money. I'm just like, once the goal is there, God is going to create ways that you don't even know about. So this money came in, and then different sources of money came in. Like we got different sources of money at that point. I think it was in March, like, and God has a specific date. He wants that thing to come for you. So you still have to flow with him. You still have to let him lead. So we got money and we went house hunting eventually. So all this is to say that, like, even though when I had the money the first time, it didn't work out. I spent the money and I felt like, oh, how was I going to do it? God still made sure he met me where I was by sending people, sending my family, sending people that just ended up buying my things, sending me money, and I ended up reaching it. Like, cause I got my house in March. February ending, I had nothing. I had no way. I had no clue how I was even going to move into the house. That was the first one. I finally got all the money in March and I was able to get the house. My babe was just randomly checking online and she was like, oh my god, babe, I just saw a house for 400k, a 1 bedroom. And I was like, what? See what I'm telling you, see what I'm telling you, see what I'm telling you. And yeah, that was it, like the exact house in the same amount we wanted. And I wrote down some notes since I was meant to film this video the first time. I was like, be open to receive. Like you have to be like, oh God, please, I'm ready, like take control, I'm ready to receive, because I'm somebody that I don't like asking for things sometimes. I don't even know how to receive. So you have to really, one affirmation I kept on saying, I open myself to receive love. I open myself to receive love during that time. So be open to receive. I used a lot of positive affirmations. I feel like when you're trying to manifest, you need to fill up your head with positive videos, positive affirmation, positive things. Affirmations are literally sayings of what you want to manifest. So listen to that. I listen to that a lot. Even this year, I listened to a lot of affirmations. I did a lot of that. I did a lot of sleep visualization. So before I sleep, I imagine myself in the house. I feel it, I smell it, I sense it. I do a lot of that. I did a lot of that. I also take on my alter ego. That's why I said acting as if I acted as if I was already an influencer living in my dream house. I created content. It wasn't even about creating content or growing a YouTube channel. It was more about doing what my dream self would be doing. I also, one thing you need to know is like how bad you want it. I really wanted it so bad. Like the desperacy of the conditions made me go for it so hard, so hard. So God literally looks at like, how hard does this go? So he will literally test you and be like, how hard do you want it? Do you still want it after this? Do you still want it? And when he sees how devoted you are to that goal, he will eventually give it to you. If you continue to feed something to your subconscious, it has no option than to give it to you. If you continue to tell your subconscious, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, it's going to give it to you either ways. And that was what happened with everything. So it was just crazy how when I got it, I had no clue. Like when my baby saw it on internet, I was like, there's no house. I had given up, like, okay, we're going to have to stay in the same house, and there's no house for this amount that I want. The last one is how I got this current house, and that one is going to be really short because I wasn't in a suffer-head situation like the first time when I was so desperate, but I was still desperate too. I was uncomfortable where we were. The house had some issues. I was just like, I'm all about development. I want a bigger space. So I started manifesting. I started praying. For the longest, I was like, God, I want a 2-bedroom in dash amount. I kept on writing it down. Same processes. I kept on writing it down in every goal. Kept on writing the specific amount, and I was like, okay, I have this amount. I wrote down ways I could make the amount from the different things I do. I wrote down, okay, I can make from this. I can make this much from this. I can make this much from this. When I knew, like, okay, this is the work I need to put in, I went ahead and did it. I created this amount of videos that I needed to do, knowing like God, like this is the amount like I needed to make. So once I did everything, I was always praying to God, always taking God along and saying like, God, please, as I film this video, please bring out the money. As I sell this thing, Father, please help me to be able to make so money from it. And yeah, this one was way easier. Like I took all the steps I knew I needed to take to make the money, and in less than a month or so, like at first when the year started, I thought I had the money, but then again we spent it. So I was like, okay, God, I've put in the work, please let it flow. And it was just crazy how in 1 week everything literally happened. Like I literally got all the money I wanted, like exactly the amount I wanted, even more. And I was like, okay, when we got the money, we were like, okay, that's settled, that's fine. But then we couldn't find the house. Like all the houses we were finding were trash. And then after waiting for like a week or so, surprisingly one day Mama goes and she sees the house, and that was like, she sees the house in the amounts that I actually had been saying, and it was like, God, again, and this was so crazy. But like when we saw it, we were like, God, should we go for it? We were scared that they were even going to scam us, like, because they were like, we should pay early. And it literally worked. Like God made us do everything. We had to move in. We paid after 2 days of seeing the house. We moved in after 2 days of paying. Like everything happened all at once, and this was exactly everything I wanted and more. This house is everything I wanted and more, and I'm so grateful to God. And yeah, that's just it. Like these steps I've given are the like in total. If all those visualizations, manifestations, the affirmations, there are things you can search on YouTube or on Google, or if you want me to do a full video about all these things I do in my spirituality routines, just let me know in the comments and I'll do it for you. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was informative enough, and yeah, be sure to ask me your questions and I'll try and do more in-depth videos about spirituality and God, how did I do? Hope I tried my best to put everything together because it's been months and years. But yeah, we'll come to the end of this video, and yeah, bye.
Who you know bad like this? Who you know hop on the beat like this? All the bad girls want to wine pon this. Make a step fall down like